Division. The Scroll Project is for, today I'm just gonna be in a couple friends that I play with on PS4. So today I'm gonna ask you your name right now. Hi sir, can I ask who I'm talking to? Nice to hear, Dalton.
My name is Dalton.
Good to hear, Dalton. Today, like I said, we're gonna be doing an interview. I'll be interviewing you about drug addiction, and I have a couple questions that I would like to ask you. Dalton, how was your day today, sir?
My day was good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty well. Kind of nervous about this broadcast, but I think I'll do pretty good. Alright, sir. Let's get into this interview. And while I'm doing this interview, you'll have gameplay of The Division. Brand new game by Tom Clancy. Enjoy. So, Dalton, what is your opinion about drug addiction?
I think people are using drugs to ruin their body and to make them feel good, but it's really not making them feel good about it. And so, they're just ruining their bodies by using drugs.
I agree with you there, Dalton. What if you were ever to get into drugs and you got addicted, what would be the steps for you to stop and end your addiction?
I would either tell my parents or go get help from rehab to help me with the drug addiction.
Good to hear, good to hear. If you saw a person out in the public using marijuana, what would your steps be to help them and stop them from doing their drugs in public?
I would go over there, tell him that's bad for you and all, and then I would ask him if he wants help and take him to a doctor for him to help him with the drugs addiction and all.
Good to hear that you're a good person like that. Honestly, we don't see many people like that anymore in the United States. Going to a person, helping them with their drug addiction. Most people will just go up to them and say, "Oh, can I have some of that?" Okay, so now that I know that about you, how do you think drug addiction could be ended in the United States or in the world overall?
Well, that's a good question. I think people should just know it's bad for them and just to stop before they hurt their body too much and kill people. People should know better not to do that stuff. And their parents should teach them not to do it.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Just one sec so I can get all this situated once again. I think honestly,
thanks for helping out.
A lot of drug addiction comes from people or students or teens seeing their parents or other adults doing it.
I gotta agree with you.
Good to hear, because when a teen goes up to an adult and they see that there's drugs involved or so forth, they're gonna say, or yeah, pretty much say, "Can I have some?" Because that's what their parents show them to do. Parents these days. Some parents are good. Some parents teach their kids discipline and everything. But some parents just let their kids do what they want, and that's not good, because a lot of drug addiction leads to suicide, or a lot of people going out and killing people because they see drugs, they're gonna buy drugs, and the deal doesn't go right, and that's what leads to shootings and cops dying for intervening with drugs and so forth.
Yeah, and if the drugs are in the house and the kids see their parents doing it, they're gonna be like, oh, it's good, so I'm just gonna go steal it from them, and they're not looking.
That's right. And a lot of people do that. And it's just like a gun. A gun not locked up into a safe. That it's an automatic whoopsie, and the kids are gonna see it, and they're gonna most likely misuse it because they're not trained right. Now,
Yeah, or steal their parents' money.
Exactly.
Buy drugs off the streets and all. Or
Right.
maybe go buy it from school.
Yep.
You never know.
There's a lot of, and I agree with you there. There's a lot of schools out there that students selling them or whatever. I sometimes hear about that. That does not matter. When you're at school, you're there to learn. You're there to make friends. You're not there to go around to other people's lockers to get drugs. Okay, thank you for that part of the interview. I think we're not done, obviously, but I have a few questions I want to ask myself and answer in my opinion.
Okay.
A couple warning signs that go around that shows that there's a student or drug addictor or a student that is addicted to drugs. There are ways to find that out without going up to them and asking them. I have friends at school that are addicted to nicotine, cigarettes for another word. A warning sign for that is not going up to them, but they say, "Oh, I need to chew on something. I'm addicted to stuff. I can't stand, or I'm stressed. I need to smoke." But you can't bring cigarettes to school. You can't go out randomly out of a classroom and go to the bathroom and pull out a cigarette and start smoking it. Because then that leads to people getting suspended or people getting in very deep trouble with the law. But that's not the only warning sign out there. There's people, you see them bringing them to school or seeing them handing them out to people. That is an automatic sign that they do drugs. There's no questions about it. Because in the real world, there are going to be people that sometimes comes up to you and asks, "Do you want to buy some drugs?" Personally, I have a couple friends and family members that are part of the drug enforcement agency in that certain area, bust the person that is the drug dealer and so forth. But honestly, people out there, even if you're not undercover or even if you're a cop, there's gonna be people out there that ask you, "Do you want to buy drugs?" And there comes the part where you use your brain. Would you say yes? Would you say no? Honestly, personally, I would say no, because it's my life. I don't want to go up to a person and use drugs. It's not only my life, but it could screw up my relationships. It can screw up the way I'm doing at school, my behavior, and it could it's illegal to use certain drugs that you're not prescribed to. Medication is a different story, but in medical marijuana is a different story. But when it comes to using it illegally, like cocaine or smoking marijuana, meth, stuff like that, it's illegal. And it's not good for you. Do you have anything to say, Dalton?
No, I do not. I think you covered it all.
Okay.
Agent,
Other problems with addiction are people can be addicted to prescribed medication, taking it more than once a day. But prescribed medication can be used as a drug. They use it more than once a day, more than they are prescribed by a doctor to use. And then meth or marijuana is used. Cocaine and meth are drugs that are used more than medical marijuana or prescribed medication. You see more people doing meth or smoking meth than any other drug. I don't know the reason, but that's research that a lot of drug enforcement agencies or officers do, and so forth. But that doesn't mean go to a person and say, "Do you do drugs? Who do you think you are doing drugs?" Don't approach them like that, because then that's gonna put them in an uncomfortable position, and they're gonna want to do something bad. If you see someone using drugs and you don't know the person all the way or by heart, go to an adult. Go to a friend that they have. Don't approach them. Don't do anything like that, because then they're gonna know that something's up. Like, you're getting told that they do drugs. You might want to try starting something with them, or so forth. But that doesn't cover it. A lot of people in the real world do drugs to start problems with other students at school, because all the stories on the news, people bring drugs to school, and other students go to the lockers to get the drugs, and it's not good. That's a problem, because you go to a locker and you get caught. That's not good. That's not going to be good on your side. Tell you that. Because then the cops are going to get involved. There'll be a lot of different issues. And you don't want that. Because I knew a kid, old friend, that did drugs. And he talked to his parents, tried getting help, but it didn't always help him. He committed suicide because he was having family problems later, after he talked to his parents and so forth. And he committed suicide of prescription medication overdose. But that doesn't mean go to people and say, I just watched a broadcast, and he said he knew a kid that got high or killed himself with prescription medication. Because then that's gonna, yes, put the word out there that there are people using drugs. People need to stop with the drug addiction. It's bad for the country. It's bad for that person, that individual. But don't go around people and say, and do it in a negative way. Go up to the person and say, drugs aren't good for you. They cause serious injuries. It could end your life. It could cause cancer and other medical issues. Don't be the person that kills himself or yourself with drug-related issues. Because drugs, I understand that drugs and alcohol are one of the main addiction problems, or a way to get out of your problems and so forth. But that's not the right way. There's a lot of people that I know personally, a lot of people that go around and do drugs just because they think it's good for them. Drink alcohol because they think it's a stress reliever. It is, I understand that it might help with your stress, but it's not a healthy way to do it. And when you go to that person, ask them, get consent from them, and ask them, do you need help? What are your issues with the drugs? Don't randomly go up to them and say, oh, I'm going to help you stop, and I'm going to force you to stop. Because then, that's not going to help. That's just going to cause a lot of problems. And you do not want problems, you want to resolve the issue in an appropriate way. With that said, Dalton, do you have anything to say?
Yes, I do. About the stuff that you can get, like cancer and all. Marijuana, medical marijuana can actually help with you, like, just get your mind off of it and all.
Right. And honestly, in my opinion, this is my opinion about medical marijuana. I think medical marijuana is an excuse to start using drugs, but that's my opinion. That might not be your opinion, that might not be a lot of people's opinion. But my opinion, medical marijuana is the way to start using marijuana. Like I said, I'm not going to try starting an argument with the interview, but I think personally that's a way to start using drugs.
Okay, yes, I do agree on what you said. Some people do use it as an excuse, go to a doctor and make up excuses just to get it. But some people, on the other hand, actually have like cancer and all, and that need it to help get through it.
Right, and there are people that have cancer, and I know people that have needed medical marijuana and need it for a reason, but for you to use it just because you think you need it, I think before they start handing out medical marijuana cards, they need to do a thorough background check. They need to do a lot of different things. Ask them, why do you think, or what kind of cancer do you have? If the doctor thinks that cancer needs medical marijuana, that's his problem. That's out of my hand. But if a lot of people, I think, use medical marijuana as an excuse to use drugs. And like I said, I agree that there are people out there that need it for prescription and to help them with their cancer. But there are people out there that use it just because. Do you have anything else to say, Dalton?
No, I do not.
Okay. I would just like to ask you one quick question, Dalton. Do you think drug addiction is a problem in the United States?
Yes, I do think drug addiction is a problem in the United States.
Okay.
Because, like, people, I hear on Facebook and all of that, people are getting busted for meth labs in Walmart and all that kind of stuff.
Right. And yeah, there are people like that. That's like what I said at the beginning. There are cops getting sent out to drug-related incidents or crime scenes, and due to the drug-related. But that's a problem, because the cops are doing their job. That's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to stop and help with the problems in the United States or in their state and stop crime. Having a drug lab is a crime. Using drugs illegally is a crime. Excuse me. crime. But that doesn't give you the excuse to go up and, well, that, honestly, I think that is a good excuse. If you, after this broadcast, this is a way I'm trying to make sure people understand that drug addiction is a problem in the United States. People are gonna do drugs no matter who tells them what's going on and how many words are getting told, how many broadcasts or interviews are out there. Does not matter. People are always gonna use drugs, and it's not, my words aren't gonna stop it, but it's gonna give the word that drug addiction needs to stop. And do you agree with me, Dalton, that drug addiction needs to stop?
Yes, I do. I think people should just stop before they ruin their lives.
I agree. Well, with that said, Dalton, before I end this broadcast and interview, do you have anything else to say?
No, I think I said all that I need to say.
Good. Alright, guys. If you guys want to have a chance in this interview, feel free to message me in the comment section on YouTube. Feel free to do the message, comment on the message, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. With that said, I am going to end this interview here. I thank Dalton for being here to help me with this interview, and I think this interview is putting out the words that drug addiction is a problem in the United States that should and needs to stop. With that said, I'm gonna finish killing this boss, and then I will end the broadcast. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you once again, Dalton, for being here to help me out with this interview / project for school. And like I said, I just defeated the boss. Thank you guys once again for watching. Have a very wonderful night, and share this broadcast, share this on your Facebook, on Twitter, on any social media, or even share it at school. Go up to a friend and say, I just got this wonderful video, or this video made by a student in high school about drug addiction. Put out the word. It doesn't mean go up to people. You don't have to go up to people. Just make interviews or broadcasts and talk about what the problems are and why do you think they should stop. Honestly, before I started this video, me and Dalton were very nervous. We were talking back and forth, going and setting up and practicing how we're gonna say this. With that said, once again, thank you guys for watching this broadcast. Like and share this broadcast. Comment if you would like to put words into this broadcast. With that said, thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful night.